Hello everyone. Today I will show you how to install Python on your personal computers. First of all, why do we use Python for this course? Well, because Python is the most popular programming language. You can solve complex problems in less time with fewer lines of code. It's a multi-purpose language. You can use it for data analysis, machine learning, AI, and even building applications. Python is a high-level language, means you don't have to worry about writing a complex task such as memory management. It's a cross-platform, means you can build and run Python apps on Windows, Mac, Linux. Also, Python was around over the past 20 years, so whatever you want to do, it's likely that someone has done it before, and there will be help or hint out there for you. There are two versions of Python out there, Python 2 and 3. Python 2 was supported until 2020, and Python 3 is the Python for the future. And in this course, we are going to learn Python 3. Now we are going to get started. We want to download Python 3. We will go to a website. I'm going to copy and paste the website here. So it's python.org. On this page, under download, we can see different operating system, Mac, Windows, any of this. You can choose either of these depending on the operating system you are working on. I choose Mac since I'm working on Mac. Click on the latest version, which is currently 3.91. In the future, when you are watching these videos, there may be a newer version, so choose the latest version. Okay, so now where to download it? Scroll down. Okay, here. I guess one of these files. I will look at the description, which says for Mac OS 10.9 and later. This is what I need, so you should download the version that fits your operating system. Okay, so download, and it's not taking that long because it depends on your operating system, depends on the internet connection you have. Okay, so when you download it, you will click on it, and here is the Windows I see. Let me click this. Okay, and then install it by just clicking again and again. It's on a Mac now. For those who are working on Windows, I just googled to see if there's anything that you should know. I found out while you are installing, you should choose a box, and I took a kind of picture for you what you should choose. It says add Python 3.72 path. So the one they were showing was 3.7. So now you're going to download 3.9 or the latest version. So you should choose this, otherwise you will have a problem. So this will add Python to the path or directory that you are installing your Python. Okay, close this, and then imagine I installed everything and we are done. Okay, so to verify that you installed Python properly, you should try a command in the command line, so command prompt, or I call it terminal. To find terminal, to find command prompt in Windows, you will search in the start menu, search bar, and you will look for command prompt, and you will click on command prompt. In Mac, I will go to this browser here, and then I will write down terminal, and I choose this, and then here I will write down Python 3, and then it will show the version of Python. Well, I'm going to try something else to show you what's happening. So if I write down Python without 3, Python 2, sorry, I will see a warning message here. Why? Because Mac already comes with Python 2, and that's why there's a warning. It shows Python 2.7. So the one now we installed is Python 3. So if I want to see the version, the latest version of Python 3 I have on my Mac, I will write down Python 3. So the reason I wrote down Python here and it shows Python 3, because I changed the default Python on my computer to Python 3. So whenever I write down Python, it automatically shows the version for Python 3. And that was really such a difficult kind of process for me. I had to Google it, and then I had to go through all writing down, entering different commands to change the default to Python 3. So in Mac, there is a kind of more complex, kind of way to get Python on your computer. But on Windows, it's much easier because Windows doesn't come with Python already. Okay, so on Windows, you just write down Python. Okay, remember, none of these are the uppercase. They are all lowercase. So you will write down Python on Windows terminal or command prompt, and then it will show you the latest version of Python that you download. Okay, so now let me again go here. Okay, see, it's not showing my name and my computer's name here anymore, because now as soon as I wrote down Python 3 and it showed the version of Python for me, now I'm allowed here to write down any Python command I want. For example, I can write down 2 plus 2, and then the answer is 4, because this shell now here is the interactive shell. We call that interactive shell, and we can write down our Python commands here. If you write down, for example, 2 greater than 4, so what's the answer? 2 greater than 4 is false, right? Because 2 is less than 4. If I enter, the answer is false, because this is the Boolean expression that we have in Python. Later we will learn that. If I write down 2 less than 5, for example, so that's true, right? The Boolean expression or outcome will be true. Okay, so if I, for example, write down 2 or 3 less than, and then I don't continue, I enter, it shows me syntax error. So what is syntax error? Syntax error is a grammar error. I will receive this syntax error whenever I don't complete an expression, or if I write down any command, wrong command in Python. Okay, so look at this terminal that I'm calling it terminal, and I have an interactive shell for Python. This is not an easy or comfortable environment to write down our code. As I mentioned, this is written in the terminal, and this is an interactive shell. This is not a kind of IDE. IDE is a integrated development environment. So we need an environment to write down our code, the environment that we feel more comfortable to write our code. And IDE or code editor, these two are different kind of environment to write down your code. For any programming language, we will have IDE or code editor. So the code editor is like, I have some example for that. For example, in Mac we have Xcode. Let me find the Xcode for you here. This is a Xcode. So if I open a Xcode, it will be something like this, but kind of fancier, and I can write down my project or Python code or any other programming languages code there. So this is a code editor. So IDE, as I mentioned, is an integrated development environment, which is fancier than code editor. It has more fancier features than code editor. For IDE also, we have some example. For Python's IDE, there are Spider, PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, and lots of other IDE. And I will show you the most popular. I will show you Jupyter Notebook, Spider, PyCharm. In this course, actually, I will write in Jupyter Notebook, since I plan to create notes for you and upload it on Slack. And Jupyter Notebook makes it more easier for me as instructor to show you the code and to run the code, execute the code. But for you yourself, I'm going to show you some more interesting IDE like Spider, like PyCharm. Okay, so let's exit out here. So how to exit here? I'm going to write down exit and parentheses. If I enter this, it's going to go back to the command prompt line, and we are not in Python anymore. In Windows, you are going to choose Control Z, then it will exit out of Python in this command prompt. Okay, so what happened when I try to download the here we have the latest version of Python. Okay, so we are fine then, because previously I would over and over see the kind of older version of Python. So now I don't have that problem anymore, because as I said, I changed the default to Python 3 and I applied some other kind of command. Okay, if you have those kind of problems, if you don't see the latest version that you download, you can just Google and see what's going on and why you don't see the latest version, and there are lots of help out there for you to change the default, either Windows or Mac. Okay, so now I want to show you Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator is a desktop GUI, graphical user interface, that comes with Anaconda Individual Edition. It makes it easier to launch applications and different IDE and manage packages without using command line like terminal or Xcode. Okay, so where should I go? I'm going to again copy paste link for you to go and download Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to copy paste here, anaconda.com. Enter. I will go to product, individual edition, click on this, then download. Download. It's going to jump to the bottom of the page, and it's going to show you different operating system. I chose graphical installer and 64-bit, and if you have Windows, choose, depends on your operating system. And then as you see here, Python version is 3.8, the one Anaconda is using. Okay, when I click on this, it's going to download Anaconda for me. Okay, so let's say we downloaded this and we are done. We want to run Anaconda Navigator. Let me close this, and here I already have it. As soon as you have you install it, and you can run it on your computer. Double click on that. Okay, so here jump to the other windows I had. Okay, so as you see, this one download is taking so long because this navigator is really a huge file, and actually installing it maybe cause problem for you if you don't have enough space on your computer. Okay, so this is the home page for Anaconda Navigator. We will see PyCharm here. Oh well, that's nice, because when I deleted my Anaconda Navigator and I installed it again, I didn't have PyCharm here. So PyCharm showed up here after I made an account on PyCharm. Okay, so Spider, Jupyter Note, PyCharm. I'm going to start with Jupyter Notebook that I was talking about. I said I'm going to write all the code on Jupyter Notebook, but I will go back to these two later, and I will show you how to work on those. Okay, let's launch this. Okay, so when I launch Jupyter Notebook, terminal comes up. Don't close it at all, because if you close the terminal, if you exit out, you will lose the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so what happened when we click on Jupyter Notebook? As you see, it shows this page on my browser. Okay, I'm going to close this. So what are these? These files are the directory on my computer. This is a home directory on my computer. So for you, if you have Windows or if you have other folders on your home directory, it will show something else. Okay, for example, I have iCloud here. The iCloud was not already there. I had to write down some command and install it and bring this iCloud folder to the Jupyter Notebook directory for Jupyter Notebook to show this iCloud folder for me. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to browse on your computer to see where these folders are, because the files you write down on the Jupyter Notebook are going to save on on the directory that you see here on your computer. So what I did, this is download file folder for me. I'm going to click on this to show you. So in download folder, I already created Jupyter Notes. Let me show you download folder and compare it for you. So here is download folder for me. These are the app that I downloaded, and these are the screenshot I took for you. And then this is the Jupyter Notes folder I created, and you see it here. And then PyCharm files also, you see it here, and the rest of folder and file, whatever we have apps here, you will see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this folder. So now it's empty. I'm going to create a new Jupyter file here. I'm going to choose Python 3, and now we have another browser here. It opens a new tab. Don't close this tab, because again, if you close it, it will ruin your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so here it is. We are going to write down our codes here in this field box, and you're going to, if you want, by clicking or double clicking on that untitled, you can rename this. I'm going to name it lecture 01 and enter, and then it says unsaved changes. Okay, if you want to save it, you are going to click on this. Okay, auto saved. Okay, so here's the Jupyter notebook. I'm not going to write down more in here, because from the next lecture I'm going to write down just on this. Now I'm going to go to other websites and go to Anaconda to open another IDE. I'm going to show you Spider, because you will already have a Spider in your Anaconda navigator. You may not have PyCharm because you are going to make an account. And then okay, here Anaconda navigator, I'm going to launch Spider. Well, it's showing on my other windows. I hope you see it here. Okay, so we have it here, and this is the temporary. Okay, good. So look at this. You will see this kind of boxes. If you want to receive notification for updates, click OK. And then I had actually two other boxes. Let me show you. Because you're going to install it just okay, let me bring it here for you. Okay, this is another box that you may see. It says execute in current console, leave it the way it is, and then you don't have to choose any of these. And what is that? Okay, working directory setting. If you want, you can change the working directory and write down the path or choose the path, but by clicking on this, you are going to choose the path that you want to store your folder, save your folder, or create new folders. You are going to choose this and write down the path you want, or click on this. Okay, and then always show this dialog. No, you don't want that. And then you will click on run, and then that's it. So I don't see that because I already chose it and it doesn't show for me. I just took a screenshot for you so you can see what else you will see as soon as you open the Spider. Okay, anything else? Let me see if I saw anything else. Okay, no, that's it. Okay, so where we are now. We are on Spider, and now you can go here in file, actually file is here, and then you can create a new file, and then look, there's another tab here, and then you want to save it, and it's asking you the name, and then you can change the directory. Let's go to download, and then I want to save it in download. For example, I'm going to write down lecture 01, and then you should keep this as it is. So what is this? This is a Python extension. So this is a kind of Python text file extension. Whenever you use IDEs like a Spider or what is that, PyCharm, the text file you are saving will have a .py extension, except whenever you are writing down in Jupyter, the extension is different. So leave this as it is, otherwise you cannot open this as a Python file. So this shows this text file is a Python file. Okay, you are going to save it. So if you save it, whenever you go to file and choose open, you can browse in here in this directory, and I mean the same directory as I saved. You can click on this and open it. I mean, you can open any file that has an extension .py, and that would be a Python file, and then you can open it in Spider or PyCharm. Okay, so these are some basics you should know. And then, okay, so let's write down some code. So we want to write down a basic code using a built-in function like print, built-in function print. In Python, we have many built-in functions for performing various tasks. To make you understand the concept of built-in function, think about the remote control for your TV. You have many buttons there, right, on the remote control for different tasks or functions, like turn the volume up or down, or turn the TV off or on. These are the built-in function on your TV, which is similar to the built-in functions we have in Python or other programming languages. Okay, the print function will print the outcome of the expression in the console. So as you see here, this is the console, and here you will write down your Python code. So if I write down print and then parenthesis and then double quote, or you can use single quote, you can write down the whatever you want in between these double quote. I can write down hello everyone. Or what else I can do, I can write down print, as I said, single quote, hello here. Okay, so then what we did, we used print function to write down this expression. By writing down the print function, by calling the print function, we are going to execute this function. For that purpose, we can click on this play button. If we choose this, you will see the outcome printed here. Hello everyone for the first one, and then hello here for the second one. So this is the way we execute this function by calling the function. Okay, so what happens? What happens if I write down hi with one single quote and one double quote? So the quotes here are not matching. So here the double quotes are matched. So the expression we have is surrounded by the double quote. This here it's surrounded by a single quote. Okay, so what happens? As you see, we have a kind of warning here. And then if I play this, we'll see syntax error. Do you remember we talked about syntax error? So now this is the question that you must answer after watching this video. Send me the answer in a personal message on Slack. This is your kind of first participation point. To receive a full credit, you should write down exactly what I said when I explained the syntax error, nothing more or less. Okay, so as you see, we should not have kind of unmatching codes here. If we do, we will receive syntax error. Okay, so to prevent this, we have to delete this or fix it. Okay, so what I really like to do when I kind of download IDEs, I want to work on an IDE, I will change the keyboard shortcuts. Why? Because I don't want to come here and click on this play button or anything else over and over. I want to make it easier for myself to run this code, execute this code. So execute this function. In Spider, you can find the keyboard shortcuts in the setting or preference. So you will go to Python here, and then there's a preference here. You will click on this. I'm not sure in what you will see in Windows, but you will definitely have a setting or preference to choose. Okay, as you see here, we have keyboard shortcut. Then I will scroll down and look for run. Look here, I can double click on this, and I will click on this and use any shortcut you want. The shortcut I like on Mac is Command Enter. So I wrote down Command Enter, and then actually if the shortcut is already used, you will receive an error. So you have to either change the other shortcut, the previous one that's already chosen, or you have to change the shortcut you want. It's not a difficult task. You will get used to it. You will understand what to do, and then you will choose it. Okay, and then you will come out, and then before anything, before you quit the whole Windows, you must actually choose apply, otherwise the shortcut will not be saved. Okay, so here is the way you will change the keyboard shortcut on in a Spider. Okay, let's come out. And what else I want to show you is another print function. So another kind of way you are writing or printing stuff. Okay, so I use print function, right? I'm going to write down 2 plus 2. Okay, and then now I'm going to use the shortcut I chose. Okay, as you see here, it's going to print the first line I have here, then the second one, and then the third one, but the third one is different. It's not writing down 2 plus 2 anymore. It's writing down the outcome of 2 plus 2. Why? Because I don't have double quote anymore. Let me actually write down double quote or single quote and then write down 2 plus 2, and then you will understand what I mean exactly. So if I run this, you will see the previous one shows the outcome of 2 plus 2, but the last one shows 2 plus 2. Why? Because this double quote will treat this as a string or a sentence, or later we will learn about characters. It will treat this as a sentence. It will print out exact same thing we have between the quotes. But if you don't have a double quote, it will write down the outcome of whatever you have. I mean, in this case, we have a math operation. Okay, so these are something we will actually work on later as well. Okay, so the other thing actually in Spider, you should always remember, you will receive syntax error if you have any mistake, for example here or here. It's not going to run the next code even though they are correct, until you fix the previous error you had in the previous line. So you always should be careful and look for error and fix them before running the codes. And the other or last thing here I want to show you, always save the files you wrote down before exiting out this function. Okay, so now we are going to see another IDE, PyCharm, which is the most popular one. So like a Spider and Jupyter Notebook that came together in Anaconda Navigator, you saw that, let me close this. You saw that here. PyCharm is also has a kind of main company that created PyCharm and lots of other IDEs for other programming language. The company that made PyCharm is called JetBrains. So let's go to JetBrains. I'm going to copy the link to have access to JetBrains website. So here it is. Let me close this and then close all of these, close this one, and then I'm going to write down or copy paste. Okay, so this is a JetBrains. JetBrains let you have your academic account, which is really amazing about this kind of company. So what actually I like about, I like the most about JetBrains is the coding tutorial it has. While you are writing down, it's going to correct the code for you, give you a hint, and teach you how to write down the code, especially if you download it as a beginner or a student. So as you see, I opened the pack for students, and then here it says PyCharm, and there are other things for C. For example, they have CLion and the other kind of IDE, and this is for Java IDE IntelliJ. And then here's my account. So what you do, actually I forgot to mention, that is you can sign up or kind of register as a student, and you will have access to most of IDEs for free. You just need to open an account with your school email. Okay, so if you click on PyCharm, let's see what happens. Okay, here you will see the download page. You are going to choose this. Okay, so community, you are going to choose this. Oh, actually, I forgot. I mean, because I am on Mac, it went to this tab. If you have Windows, I think it automatically goes here, or Linux. Anyway, just pay attention to this. Don't download the wrong one. Okay, community, you're going to choose download. It's going to download it for you, so you don't have to go through this. I did once accidentally, so you don't have to do this. It's going to download everything for you here. Okay, so you will wait for this to download. So after download is done, and then you want to double click on that and then run it, install it, remember you must have your account username and password that you created for JetBrains in order to log in and have access to PyCharm or the other IDE with your academic license. So you must have your username and password. Okay, so when you open PyCharm, let me close this down and then see, I have PyCharm here. Okay, at first you will see something like this. I'm going to close all of this here, close this one, terminate. Okay, you will see this box. You will choose a new project, or you can open your previous project. Let's open a new project since you don't have any previous project. Okay, so here you will see a location. This is a field box. You are going to choose a location. What I have done here, I created the PyCharm files. I'm going to store all the projects I'm creating in these PyCharm files. I chose this, and look what I do, /lecture01. So what it does now, it's going to create a project for me named lecture01. So every time I'm creating a new project in PyCharm file, it's going to create a subfolder for me for my new project. Okay, so for the rest of this, actually you don't need to do anything. The Python is the last version here. Let's create it here. Well, it jumped to the other windows. Kind of takes time if you're creating a new project. Okay, so what we have here is the file for your project. This one already finished building it. Okay, so if I open this, you will see main.py. This is the text file that has your Python code in. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to run it, and as you see, it says hi PyCharm because of this print function. Okay, I'm going to delete all of this and write down our own code, and then I'm going to run this, and then as you see here, hi everyone. So we executed this function. Okay, so in PyCharm also you can go to preferences and change the keyboard shortcut by writing down run here. and then you will select this, double click on that, add keyboard shortcut, remove, or do all of this, and then you must apply it when you are confirming, and then okay, done. Then you will have a shortcut for running your function, your code, instead of choosing this play button here. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you here in PyCharm is, actually you can adjust this also, I like this one too. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do is to close this down and try to open it again. Where is that? Oh, okay, it's showing here. Okay, so when I closed it and I opened it again, here it is. It shows lecture 1 and then the location, and well, I like to show you the download folder also. So this is a PyCharm files, and this is a subfolder I created for project 1, lecture 1, and then this is your Python file, text file, and this is the rest of kind of project you have. And then if you want to go back to this project, you can just click on this. It will open the project for you. You can open a new project, but you can, you know, name it something else. You cannot save this in this folder. This folder belongs to the project 1. You cannot create a new project inside this project. You can create a project in main folder that I have, means it will be kind of parallel to this project 1. You can call it lecture 202, and then you will have a new project in the Python, hold your PyCharm files. And actually there is something else. If you open this setting, did you see where I clicked on this setting? You can make new project group. You should browse everything on your own, try everything to see what's going on, what happens, and then you will learn it better rather than me showing you something before you try it. Okay, I clicked on this. It opens the main PyCharm file for me. I want to show you how to rename this main .py file. You will right click on this, then refactor, and then you can rename it. In this way you can name this file. Don't forget, you must keep this extension here. And then I'm going to close this. What else we want to see in PyCharm is, oh, you can actually close this project or remove it from here by remove from recent project. Okay, so that's it about PyCharm. So you know what, actually after you make an account, after you download PyCharm and install it, when you open Anaconda, let me quit this, when you open Anaconda you will see it's taking time loading. Okay, you will see it here, and then you can just easily launch it from here, or you can directly go to PyCharm and launch it. Okay, well, now you have a better idea of how to download Python, install different IDEs, and work on them. Choose the IDE that you really like, either Jupyter Notebook, Spider, or PyCharm. Or you can also discover a better IDE that you find interesting. That's actually your choice, and I kind of believe you must look into this to find the best environment to write down your codes. As I mentioned before, I will use actually Jupyter notebook, since I want to create a kind of note for my student. So I'm not going to go back to PyCharm or Spider. But as long as you learn how to code, it doesn't matter which environment you are choosing and you are working on, which ID. It doesn't matter at all. It's like a writing. When you know how to write, you can write on a paper, on a black or white board, or even on the wall. So it doesn't matter which pen you're choosing or what color is that. These are all the tools you can use to write, and these will not have effect on your ability to write. Okay, so links for downloads, JetBrains, or PyCharm, Spider, Anaconda, all of these will be on Slack in installation channel. Please let me know if you have any question. Also, don't forget about submitting your participation point before the due date, and I will announce it on announcement channel on Slack. Okay, have a good day. We'll see you later. Take care.